Hey, everybody. How are you on this beautiful Tuesday in New York? Yeah, it's 48 degrees. The OCD is creeping in, and I don't know what I'm seeing, but something's annoying me in the corner of the thing over here on the screen. Let's see. Can I cover it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's driving me crazy. It's on this side. This? No. I don't know. I see something on the side there. I don't know what it would be. It would be this side. I don't know. No, is that it? That's not it either. Something is showing on the camera. Oh, now it's off. Sorry about that. How you doing, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. Hey, Rock. Hey, Ira. So the night I gave up, this goes out, and I see it again. What the hell is that in the corner of the screen? It's driving me out of my mind, which I have papers to prove I am. I don't know. This goes out to Damien and his son, Dylan. I know Dylan since he's about 2. I met Damien in 2006, I believe, 2006 or 2007. It was just around March Madness time. And went to Damien's house, and this cute little buzzsaw of a 2-year-old was running around. And after about 10 minutes, now Damien was the kind of guy that got out of the shower when he took a piss. A street guy, but a very polished street guy. Bit on the OCD. He opened up his refrigerator. Each bottle, I would dare anyone to take a tape measure because they were exact. And he knows what I'm talking about. And after sitting with Dylan, he said, "What's up?" I said, "Where's his off button?" And now that little boy is probably 22, which makes me feel real old because I am. But anyway, so this goes out to Dylan and Damien. Damien, one of my closest friends, dearest friends. He's a guy that doesn't only know where the bodies are buried, but he helped bury them. And we could tell you stories. We've been there for each other through thick and thin. I'll give you one story. Damien and I had an argument, which was definitely his fault. He thought something that wasn't true. We didn't talk for like 6 months. My wife at the time was friends with one of his friends, and I had heard that he was at Atlantic City, hammered. He maybe had done some damage to his car. I got in the car at 11:30 at night and went there, walked up to him at the crap table and said, "The fuck you doing?" That's how we are with each other. He flew in for a day for my 60th birthday. That's the way we are. And those are friends that you can't find. You cannot find those friends. I don't care how hard you look. They come to you. It's like osmosis. They just show up in your life one day and they're there. And they show up. It's kind of like when you love somebody and you say, like, how did I ever live without you? It's like they were always there. These people are like always there in your life. You don't remember a time when you didn't know. And it's not only a testament to friendship, but it's a testament to how people can truly care about each other in a way that is like unbelievable. Unbelievable. And so to Damien and Dylan, 2 very important people. I don't see Dylan. I saw him about a year ago in the car, and I couldn't believe it was him. But a great, handsome kid, great kid, and not a kid anymore, a young man. So Damien did an amazing job raising his two sons along with their mom. And shout out to them. So the night I gave up, I knew. That's the title of this show. What did I know? I knew it was time to give up. Now, what did I give up? I gave up fighting a lost cause, which was trying to figure out why things have happened to me, trying to figure out why I had a sick father when I was younger, trying to figure out why did we struggle, tried to figure out why was I bipolar, why did my sisters die. I just gave up because there was no answer. Okay. You could be Einstein, you could be the smartest person in the world, and ask the guy who designs the spaceship to be able to. I go through the tunnel, my GPS doesn't work ways. Can you imagine designing and knowing how to get to the moon and then get it back here? Go ask that guy, what does it all mean? What's God's plan? This guy is one of the brightest guys that have ever lived, and he can't tell you. So you think you got a shot? And I looked at that and I said to myself, you know what? I am tired of worrying that I don't have the answers. I'm going to understand that I'm not supposed to. It's like when I wrote songs, I played in a band, I played for a lot of people. When I sat and forgave myself for not being Paul McCartney and just being Vinnie Bracco, I'll show you. I was practicing on the piano some basic chords, but something that I wanted to do. I was working on a song, and I'll show you. It's very basic, but it's a tune that I've had stuck in my head. I'll show you it. I have this stuck in my head, this tune. I've been writing some songs, and this is the tune. All right. Stuck in my head. Now, that has been stuck in my head, and I transposed it from guitar to the piano, and it's a loop. We talk about, what's that actor's name, and it drives you crazy, and for hours it'll drive you nuts because you can't remember the name of your favorite movie's actor. Well, that's what's going on with this song. I I just I can't get it all out, and that's what happens in life. We don't have the answers. But are we able to, when you mention an actor and you don't remember the name, are we able to just say, "Oh, okay, I don't remember the name"? No, it'll drive you nuts. You're on Google, you're looking for it, right? Can we ever just say, "Oh, who cares"? No. We are an inquisitive bunch. When a loop goes out, like an earworm, when a loop hits our brain, we need the answer, and we need it yesterday, not even now. And that's what I had to give up in life, not music. It still drive me crazy, but in life, it's we are not going to have the answers. There are a lot smarter people, and I consider myself pretty smart. I'm sure you guys are. but I relent. Okay, I don't have the answers. Now what? You can't worry about worrying about something, right? Like worrying about the future. It's okay to be concerned with what your future is going to be, but you can't worry about what hasn't happened yet. But we always catastrophize. And why do we do that? Because that's how we're built. Because, yeah, things usually go wrong. For every one time you flew to the wedding with no traffic, there was a roadblock, you got a flat, you got there miserable. Life isn't set up to be easy. It's not, for whatever the reason is. And then you think, oh, some people have it easy. No, they don't. They just don't admit it to you. They bullshit you better than you bullshit yourself. But I'll tell you something. When you let it go, and I remember the night I gave up. I remember it, not like it was yesterday, but like it was last year. After I got pinched in 2011, they took everything from me, and I wanted so badly. This was in February, to go to a Squeeze concert. They were playing, and they had just gotten back together within a couple of years. Hey, Pauline, there's always room for you. Here, you can sit on my lap. So I had scalped the ticket, and it cost me a little more than I thought it was going to. But I do remember, after purchasing the ticket, I had about, I don't know, $24 left on me. And they were selling CDs in the lobby a half hour after the show of the show. And I wanted that. But unfortunately, I was also very thirsty, and I was in the lounge area, and I wanted a drink, which was $10, $12. Not an alcoholic drink, just a drink. And I had to decide if I can go with water from the fountain or get my drink and forsake the Squeeze CD. I drank water, but I gave up feeling sorry for myself. I gave up why me. I know why me. I made a mistake, broke the law. And I also, which was pretty bold, I said, this is never happening again. Very angry, confident. No, there was no reason for me to be confident. I felt like an idiot. Here I am, a 50-year-old guy at the time, couldn't afford a CD and a drink. I promised that would never happen again. And I worked to ensure it wouldn't. Now, how? I made sure I'd never make another mistake that would pretty much clean me out. With that came a surrendering. I don't have all the answers. Okay, you got me. Universe, God, Vishnu, whoever you listen to, you got me. Okay, I'm not all that. I'm your humble servant. And I realized that it came with changing my decision-making process. That maybe if I made some better decisions, I wouldn't have been in this situation. So I started really thinking about the decisions that I made that got me there that night. And I saw a pattern, much like, I don't know, a pattern if someone gets caught DWI, generally, not all the time, but generally they were coming from a bar or maybe someone's house. But they probably were somewhere where the alcohol was flowing. If you didn't go to the bar at 2 a.m., you might not have got arrested for DWI or whatever. Your decision-making process is flawed. What got you to the police station? The police car is secondary. Getting stopped is secondary. It's your decision to go out that night knowing you have a problem. If you would have stayed in and even got hammered on your couch watching a movie, I guarantee you would not have gotten a DWI. Unless your couch started spinning if you drank a lot, but I don't think there's any cops in your living room. So it's your decision making that will put you in harm's way. I have friends that never really planned for the future because I'll tell you why. Planning for the future is like if I sit here, right? And there are two televisions in front of me, and you make me sit, and I can't get up. And I hate cartoons. You put one television on 5 feet from me, and I can't change the channels, that has cartoons on. And the other one, remember in the old days when you put your television in between channels and it had snow? Well, one television showed all snow. I'm going to watch the cartoons. I hate cartoons, but I'm going to watch it because the snow is the unknown. The snow is worrying about your future. You don't know. It's uncomfortable, but you know what's behind you. And you could even rewrite that. Remember in the days, 17 years of age, you had your first great girlfriend. Oh, every day was sunny. We never fought. Bullshit. I guarantee if you go back in time, which on Google you could do everything. And if you go to that year, there were days it rained that summer. You would swear it never rained. No, it rained. Just it didn't matter to you. It didn't matter to you. You rewrite history. The way you want to remember it is the way you will. We can't remember anything in the future because it hasn't happened yet. And it's scary. So we rewrite our past. I don't have a drinking problem. I didn't gamble too much. Everyone does at my age. Until they don't. So we're afraid of the future. So we don't save enough money to retire comfortably. Hey, Gianni, how are you? Ciao, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. It's always great to have you in here. You are the greatest deceiver. It's like the devil. They say the devil's greatest trick is convincing you he doesn't exist. Your shadow, no matter where you go, will find you. It might be a foot away, but you're not going to hide from it unless you turn the light bright and open your eyes. And that's what we have to do. We have to realize that this world wasn't put here so we can fly through, punch our ticket, and then go to eternity with angels and fairy dust and clouds and all this shit. We're put here for a reason, to live life. And as bad as it gets, I'd rather be a participant than an extra. I don't want to be, even if you give me a first row seat. No, I want to be on the stage doing it. Some people stumble through life and any good memories they have because they happen to get caught in the crossfire, happen to be there that night when greatness happened at the bar. They had nothing to do with it. They were an extra. Pauline, what do you think? I'm on here for my health? I'm joking. I do come up with once in a while something decent. Thank you, honey. Hope Liverpool's well. It's 9:21. I'm going to England probably this summer. I told you in August. I'm going to get there, Pauline. And we are going to that cafe you talked about for cappuccino. I am a firm believer that we cause a lot of our own issues. We don't plan for the future because the future, we don't know what it is. Right? If I want to hear the Beatles and you ask me, what album should I put on? Anyone. What one, Vin? Anyone. How am I guaranteed to hear the Beatles? If she has 2 albums near the stereo, I have a 50% chance that she'll pick that. How about if she has 500 albums? Odds aren't too good. If I say, play a Beatle album, I've narrowed it down to 1. Rubber Soul, great album. That is what you need to do in life. Live. You want to go for coffee? You don't have a car, but you have to get out? Call car service. Your excuses, people, are your own. No matter how depressed you are, you do have a little bit of a say in it. You could ride the wave or go under. For every one person that goes under with their surfboard and tumbles under and swears they're never going to get up, one rides and all smiles. Did he prepare better? Maybe. Did he practice a little more? Maybe. Was his surfboard better? Maybe. Was he lucky? Probably. But if he waxed his surfboard correctly, if he looked at the wave chart of high tide or whatever, if he wasn't a cowboy, if he had done it before and practiced, he kind of made his own luck. Most people, it's amazing. Isn't it interesting? Successful people, how lucky they are. How lucky people that work hard are. You think maybe there's a correlation of working hard and kind of luck finds you a bit? And the people that don't work hard kind of don't find any luck? You think that may be cause and effect there? Because isn't it amazing that all the people that are rich, God, how lucky they were. Don't worry that when you were hanging out on a Friday night, they went to college studying for finals and they missed all that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry that they worked on Christmas Eve to better themselves. Don't worry that they had to travel to the city early in the morning, get 2 hours sleep sometimes, work extra. That means nothing. Those are the people that get lucky. The people that work for it. I could have $1 million here and put it on the table. Invite Pauline to my house. Put Pauline just far enough where she can't grab it. And tell her, you're a millionaire now. No, she's not. It's this close. She didn't grab it. You could talk all you want about it. I could have been a millionaire. It was 2 feet away. Did you try to break the bars? Did you try to really strain your arm to get to it? Did you try to spin the chair around? Did you? No. You're getting your coat on? Pauline, we'd have fun. Pauline, I know my stuff because I've been there. I've done it. And I wish you were closer. I've done it. I've been through a lot of crap, and a lot of it I caused. Caused a lot of it. And I still make mistakes. I'll give you, for instance, I went to Tampa Bay Downs to visit Lee. I lost $800 that day. Whose fault is that? It's mine. Is it my fault that Lee asked me to come visit? If Lee didn't ask me to visit, I wouldn't have lost 800. No, it's my fault. Lee didn't lose 800. It's my fault. Just like if I would have, the last time I went there, 3 years ago to the day, actually, I'll show you the pictures. You wouldn't believe how much weight I lost. I had won 3,000. Lee was there and he couldn't believe it. I hit a $50 horse and exactor and everything. I'm going to show you. It was exactly 3 years from the day, March 16th. This is what 35 pounds looks on someone. This was me there at Tampa 3 years ago. This is me now. Do you think I got thinner by saying, God, I wish I was thinner? No. I wanted it, so what did I do? I got it. I put a little effort in. I missed the party like the successful stockbroker. I studied while everybody was playing softball. I didn't eat that piece of cake when everybody was having a great time. I suffered. Now I can have 4 ice cream sundaes because I didn't have the one when it was convenient to have it. Now I can have it whenever the hell I want. I control the narrative here. No one pays my bills. I live my life because it's my life. And you guys should do the same. Pauline, thank you. And I'm sorry things aren't well. And if you want to figure out, I forget that where London can call New York cheap or New York can call London. I forget what it's called. If you want to figure that out, we could talk on the phone if you need help. I'd certainly be there for you. You know that. I forget what it's called, where you hook it up and you're able to talk like an app. Chat something, or if you need my help, let me know, Pauline. So you do what you can. But for the most part, we do things when they're convenient for us to do them. You're wisecracking. Well, Pauline, like I said, I make sense because it's easy for me. Yeah, let me figure it. Do you know how to do it? There is something where people talk to Europe and it costs them nothing. It's like an app. If you could tell me, I'll hook up. Oh, actually, we can talk, Pauline. What am I talking about? If you have an email and a camera, I will go on my StreamYard, not go live, but we can talk just like I'm doing now. If you came on, you give me your email address. If you have a camera on your computer, I send you the link. You hit it, and you'll be on talking to me. If you want to do that, that's fine. So, WhatsApp, or better yet, just give me your email address. And if you have a computer with a camera, even your iPhone, I'll put the link in description and you come in. You just press it and we could talk like this. You'll actually see this stupid face. So it really wears you down, feeling down. And I have a friend right now that feels, other than Pauline, that life isn't great for him. He was given a raw deal, which he was. But the tooth fairy wasn't real, people. And I'm going to blow your mind here. Santa isn't either. No one's going to come down, sprinkle dust on you, and all of a sudden your life is going to be great again. You have to do it. If you want to go for a cup of coffee, go for a fucking cup of coffee. Stop. I can't. Why can't you? The only way you can't go for a fucking cup of coffee if Dunkin' Donuts is closed. If they are open, you can. Probably nothing that important, Pauline. I'm just saying, people that want to do something, Dunkin' Donuts being open is like life being here. Don't say you can't do things when you're still not 6 feet under or ashes on someone's mantle. If you're alive, you can do it. It's up to you. If you're 60 years of age, guess what? You can take the bar as an attorney. They don't say you can't. You can do anything you want. London Calling, good song. You got to make your own life. I'll tell you why. So many people that you thought would be there for you won't be. It has nothing to do with them not liking you. It has nothing to do with any of that. They're busy. They don't have time. You have to do for yourself, people. If you want to feel good, feel good. Do things that make you happy. If you're in a wheelchair, like my friend Frank in Vegas is, he plays with his grandchildren. This was an active guy. It pisses him off that he can't do things, but he concentrates on the things he can do. You stop talking about the things you can't do. If I ever went to Putin and Zelensky, I'd sit them both down and say, both of you shut up for 5 minutes. I'm going to show you how much alike you are. And when they both laugh in my face, I'm going to say, Putin, do you love your daughter? Okay. Zelensky, do you love yours? Yeah. Here's one thing you have in common. Do you like whipped cream? There's 2 things. Do you want your kids to be successful? Do you want them? There's 3. Do you want them to be healthy? There's 4. 100 things I'll come up with and say, now tell me how much you're disalike. I just showed you 100 things you're in common with. Well, it's the same thing. Instead of worrying about what you can't do now, worry about now what you can do. But we don't do that. You know why? We can't feel bad for ourselves. The funny thing is, as you get the hint, no one feels bad for you either. Why? Because they have their own issues. They would, in a perfect world, rather you not go through hell, probably. But they're worrying about themselves going through hell. Because like I just said 34 minutes ago, all of our lives are hard. We just have to survive until it gets better. The hurricane What did people do? They board up the windows, the lights go out, they go like this and wait for it to stop. And then they rebuild. Did people after Hurricane Katrina say, oh my God, my home was washed away? I might as well kill myself. No, they rebuilt. They trudged through. They were crying. Old photo albums are destroyed. Things are destroyed. And they moved on. They didn't sit there for 20 years saying, look what was taken from me. They made sure there would be things that people could take again because they'd work on it. Right? During the demonstrations in New York, $1 billion worth of damage. They rebuilt. They didn't just say, oh my God, look what happened, and walk away. They rebuilt. My life sucked in 2011. I rebuilt. What do you think? It was easy? They took 110,000 out of my house. What do you think? I wished real hard and 110 was there again? No. I had to get over feeling sorry for myself and just try to build a life. Pauline, I'm a lot smarter than I look. This stupid face does have some brains in it. You need to stop making excuses. The best boxer to me, pound for pound, to me, it's subjective. Muhammad Ali. You know how many times Muhammad Ali got knocked on his ass? He got up. There is no shame in getting knocked down. You should be embarrassed as hell of not trying to get up. Now, I'm not saying if you get knocked out, you go up, you get hit by a car, you're in a car. I'm not talking about that. But if you are conscious enough to try to get up and you stay down because you're afraid to get hit hard again, you deserve what you get. Because think about what people had to do that are so less fortunate than we are. We're upset because our service buffers. How about when there were food rationing during the Depression? How about when there was no hot water? When you had nothing to eat? That's a problem. Not I got to take car service to Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Hey, Taylor, it was gritty. It was all the buildings were stained dark. Liverpool was very dreary. There were people were playing, kids were playing war in the streets with rubble that were there for 2 years. The rubble was in the streets in Liverpool. My pal Taylor. Congratulations, Taylor. I reacquainted with Taylor last night. I'm going to do a special on my original OGs from my channel. Taylor's one of them, and his beautiful now wife, and their new addition. I knew him when he wasn't married and didn't have a child. But now his life is totally different than when I met him. And after meeting him in Bay Ridge for coffee with him and his beautiful girlfriend at the time, it made me feel that I am doing the right thing being on YouTube. Because meeting him showed me, look what you can get out of this. And to find that his life is turned so positively, he searched the girl out. Do you think they just happened to get married? I know they didn't just happen to have a kid. That much I know at 64. But he built a life for himself. I remember he used to work really crazy hours. worked his ass off. And he has a family now because obviously he wanted one. But what did he do? He went out and got it. There was a rainbow. I'm not talking about the rainbows they try to push on you now, America. A real rainbow. And it had Taylor and Emily's name on it. I know, Taylor. And obviously you succeed. You're a good man, Taylor. Listen, I don't meet a lot of people, and that was back in the day. No, I just, first of all, your girlfriend was lovely. Now your wife, she's a very nice person. You could tell she was so committed to you. And that's nice to see too. But I'm so happy things worked out for you. I really am, because you're a good dude. And say hi to her. But I will tell you this much. You really need to take a step back and think about what you're complaining about before you complain about it. Look, it might be very warranted. You might have really had the proverbial kitchen sink thrown at you. Duck. Duck. It's okay to duck. You don't have to be a tough guy. Sidestep. And if you get hit with it, brush yourself off and make sure you don't get hit again. Now, if it comes from all directions and you can't help but get hit again, eventually you'll realize the second time, oh shit, it's not only going to come from the front. Now I have to watch everywhere. You see where I'm getting? After getting hit 3 times from different directions, you know, I really can't avoid this. So what do? Lessen the blow. Do this so it doesn't hit me in the face. You learn to work with things. You learn to make it a bad situation a little better. Some of us don't. You know why? Nothing to complain about then. Who's going to feel sorry for me if I'm doing everything that I used to do? How am I going to be the victim? Well, if you want to be the victim, I guarantee you will always be the victim, because victims are great at staying victims. They have that down pat. If they only took that energy into being non-victims, they'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Good stuff can happen if you stop attracting the bad stuff. You keep on hanging out in a bar at 2 o'clock in the morning and you finally have a problem. Why are you surprised? Then don't go. I guarantee you, and I haven't seen Taylor in 5 years. I guarantee you, if I went through the worst neighborhood in Brooklyn with a fistful of hundreds, counting them out on an ATM, and I got hit in the head with a bat, and I was in the hospital, and Taylor happened to find out, and he worked a block away, and he, let me go see Vin. I guarantee you, the first thing he would say would, oh my God, Vin, you okay? And then when he felt comfortable enough, he'd say, Vin, not for anything, but why were you there counting money out when everybody gets mugged there? Sometimes we look for our own shit. Why? So we can complain about it, because that's all we have. See, some people are always involved in drama because that's what keeps them alive. Their world is mundane. They feel their life is boring. And if they're not involved in drama, they don't exist. It gives them, it legitimizes them. They are alive. They matter because they're in everybody's mouth. Thank you, Pauline. I hope I am, and I hope I helped you. Hit me up with your email if you have a computer with a camera or iPhone or whatever it is, and we'll schedule it. And email me. You can text me. I don't think it costs any money. Email me, and I'll give you my phone number. My email is lovethehits@gmail.com. I'll put it up here. My friend Damien must be listening saying, oh my God, he's off his meds now. I don't take my bipolar med before this. It would be really boring. There's my email address. That's me at Rayo's, that picture, by the way. I was eating at Rayo's last year. Definitely hit me up. And this is Damien right now. Yeah, Damien can't comment for some reason. He's in here, but he can't comment. Hold on. We might get him on here. I'll put him on speaker in the phone. I just asked him if I can call him, and he'll come on here, audio. He'll tell you a story. One of the biggest snowstorms. Oh, great, Pauline. Yeah, definitely. If you give me your email address, I could set it up with StreamYard, invite you, give you the link, and all you do on your email is hit the link, and you'll be on with me, and we'll talk like this. It'd be great. I'd love to talk to you. Okay, I'm calling Damien now. Hold on. I'm calling my man.
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm listening to your show. You know, I'm always enjoying it.
Oh, thank you. This is one of my best friends, people.
Absolutely. Then he's one of my best friends.
Tell them the snowstorm story.
Well, I'll tell you. So I had my son Dylan. He was a big John Cena fan, and John Cena happened to come to town, and it was during the holidays for the holiday fest that they had. And his mother said, "I don't want." We were getting divorced at the time, and she said, "I didn't want him to go to the wrestling." I said, "Don't worry about it. There was a snowstorm expected, and I didn't care. He wanted to see John Cena, and I did not care." So I took him on the train to the city on the LIRR, got to Madison Square Garden, and she called me up about midway through the snow and said, "Wow, there's like 10 inches of snow. I'm worried about it. You guys are not going to get back home." And I'm like, "Oh, we're leaving already. Don't worry about it. We're leaving." And I went back in and watched the show, and John Cena came out maybe an hour later. And before you know it, there was like 17, 18 inches of snow. Now we leave the place, and the train's all shut down. And I have no way to get home. I'm stuck in the city. And his mother already thinks that I'm home. And I'm taking him to the house. So my only option was to call Vinny while he's sleeping at his house and ask him, "Please, is there any way he could come get me?" Now, at the time, he had like this gold Ford truck.
Explorer.
And this Explorer, yes. And he trekked in the snow. I mean, he just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, there was a foot of snow in the street, and I'm plowing through the snow trying to get past it.
Yes, and he came and he picked us up. And I mean, it was very difficult to see and everything. And we made it all the way home and dropped off Dylan at his mother's house.
At Pollock Alley, I remember, right?
What?
Pollock Alley.
Yes, and Pollock
because
Alley
we didn't get past we couldn't get over the snow hump. Yeah.
And I never forgot that, ever. The loyalty this man has.
Oh, you too, though. Look what you've done for me. Look what you've done for me.
We all try to help each other out.
Yeah.
You know, if I need him, he's there for me.
Of course.
If he needs me, I'm there for him.
Always.
And I'm always here to support you. That's why I try to, finally I want you to know him. I'm like, he doesn't know I don't know you, that I'm watching.
Yeah, for some reason he can't comment. I don't understand that.
It doesn't give me any option. I subscribe to you.
Yeah, I don't understand.
When I click on the option, it says unsubscribe. So I'm like, what does this mean? So
I gotta figure it out.
If anybody out there knows, please put something up there. Let Vinny know. Let me know. I would appreciate it. I like to be part of the show.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I really enjoy every day that you're on.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate
You
it.
make my day.
Thank you.
You really make my day.
I
So thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
Oh, thank
And
you,
everybody, let's support Vinny out there, right?
Thank you. I love you,
Let's do
Dame.
the right thing. Love you too, man.
I'll talk to you
Have a
later.
great day.
Thanks.
All right,
bye. He's wonderful. One of my dearest friends. I mean, that's a guy I'd walk through hell with. And he knows I would do the same for him. And I have friends from 1973 that I still see. I have friends, honestly, from 1973. My friend Rob Dioria, saw him a couple of months ago, stayed at his house. 53 years we're friends. I still talk to him. I have friends from the 80s that I see all the time. I have friends more than 53 years. That I have at least 7 or 8 friends from 1973 to 1986. That period that I met, I still see them all the time. Still as close. Obviously, they don't all live here and stuff like, so you can't be as close as you were when you were hanging out when you're 24. But we are just there for each other. I am blessed. And then I met new friends over the last 10, 15 years. Mitch and Ira, Damien's probably 20 years this spring. It's either 20 or 19 years. I think it might have been, I think it was the spring of 2006 I met Damien. So it's 20 years. Yeah. And he brought me, he knew St. Francis College, the coach. Damien's a terrific basketball player. And brought us to St. John's. He knew Louis Conaseca and stuff. Took my son. My son at the time was about 10 or 11. His older son is about a year older than my son. And then Dylan's the baby. And I couldn't hit. I am the worst basketball player of all time. That even Damien, who tried to be nice in the car when I said, no, you can't be that bad. But he was great. And my son loves him. And we just got very close because, we know a lot of the same people. And, he knows a lot of street people and a lot of reputable people. Like I said, the St. Joe's coach and stuff like that. He a good guy and tells you what he thinks, which that's important to me. That's important to me. I could find a lot of sycophants that'll just kiss my ass. I need someone that'll tell me the truth, like, hey, you're going a little too far, or you're doing this, you're doing that. That's what you need in your life. That's how I got through. Hey, Lee, that's how I got through in my life, by having people that would be honest with me, that would tell me like, yeah, you were kind of wrong. Maybe the bipolar's flying, or, just because I'm bipolar doesn't mean I'm wrong about everything. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not talking about you. But, I do put a lot of faith in the support group that I choose to have. And it means a lot to me. And it's important to have people that look, why, generally speaking, you don't tell people how you're doing? Because 50% of the people don't really give a shit, and the other 50% are rooting against you. Now, how do you differentiate? Well, over time, you learn who really are the people that care, that really have a vested interest in if you're okay. It doesn't make their day better. Lee, I'd always be there. And look what you've done for me. Lee's another one. Just very look. My shoulder was bothering me. I passed out last month. And I felt very lightheaded 3 hours before flying to Lee's house. And I just held on to hope it was okay. I didn't pass out, but I was not missing going to his house for anything. Was not missing it. And I had a ball. I had such a good time with him. First of all, I love sitting talking to him in his living room. We watch movies. I just love talking to him. We're from the same area. He's, like 4 years older than me or whatever. But we come from the same area, knew some of the same people, even though not together, but we knew them separately. And just a very good person. And anyone that has met Lee here, which he knows all my friends here, love him because rooting for you, really a big proponent of you doing well. And that's so hard to find nowadays because people are jealous. People are jealous. And I am going to, I'll make the announcement here. Have a baby. No, I'm kidding. Isn't it sad that this is a generation where if I said I'm having a baby, they'd say, really? I am going to spend time with him for his birthday. I am going to fly out for his birthday because this man is not going to be alone for his birthday under my watch. So toward the end of April, I am going to stay out there for a few days and celebrate his birthday with him because he's not going to be alone for his birthday. Not while I'm alive, as Michael Corleone would say. So, of course, Lee. Oh, I had a ball this time. For some reason, I always had a good time, but this time, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It's just, I just had such a ball. I didn't want to go home, but I had to teach Wednesday. I almost looked into canceling the class, but the problem was when I had surgery on my shoulder 2 months ago, it was during that semester. I canceled the class. My new classes start tomorrow. I didn't have a makeup week in between. This was the makeup week that I had to make up a class because I canceled the shoulder. So last Wednesday, there's a week before the new semester. That was the makeup week where you have to start paying people, giving them a refund. So no, I taught. If I could have canceled the class and had it this week, I would have stayed with Lee. But I couldn't. There were no makeup dates because I had used the week for my shoulder surgery. So I start new semester tomorrow. I'm excited about it. I enjoy teaching. And I know, Mitch. I know you do. But, Mitch, you don't have to do anything for me. You don't have to do anything for me. Your friendship's enough. See, Mitch struggles, and we're all family here. Mitch used to meet me at the diner. I'd call him at 9:30 at night. He's further out east. He's about 15, 20 minutes away. Come to my house. We'll go to Parks. And we'd leave for Parks and get there at midnight. Have a Philly cheesesteak at home 3:30 in the morning. Like, that's the kind of guy I am. Like, I'm very capable, honestly. And people that know me will tell you, of calling you at 5:30 at night. Listen, you want to go to Vegas? The plane leaves at 9:30. That's unfortunately. And Mitch, because he doesn't drive anymore, not that he can't, but he had to give up the car because of medical issues and stuff, doesn't drive anymore. So Mitch can't just get in the car and meet me to eat. Now, my friend Ira, who was originally Mitch's friend, and I met Ira through Mitch, one of the wonderful things with Mitch's friendship as well. Ira works and passes my area. So he's a few miles away every day for the most part. So Ira will call me. Hey, you want to go for breakfast? He's here. For me to call Mitch to have to arrange that takes too long. For me to go out east, it would take an hour and a half at rush hour, and then an hour back to have to bring him then back and forth. It'd be a 5-hour ordeal to go for a half-hour cup of coffee. So Ira and I, So Ira and I will go many times to the diner, and Mitch isn't included. And that's bothered Mitch, I know, but it's logistics. We don't want to exclude him, but it's just logistics. A 3-hour project to have a cup of coffee is too much. And Ira happens to be over here. Ira, has called at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, where he had 2 hours to kill. He wasn't going to go all the way back home, an hour back home with rush hour, hour and a half. And he had another meeting, but it was too early. So he'd come and hang out at my house for 2 hours. And when you can't join in on stuff you used to join in on, you feel like you're missing out. So Mitch goes through that right now. that he feels like he's missing out on life because life, I was a very big part of his life where he would meet me at the diner, meet me at resorts, just meet for breakfast or lunch or whatever, because he had his own car. He could jump in his car and go. If I pick him up, it takes me sometimes an hour to get to him. And then to come back here to the diner or out there. I'm okay, Danae. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming in. I hope you're having a good day. 45 degrees here, Danae. It's cool here. But so I gave up. The night I gave up on feeling sorry for myself. I gave up on waiting for the good life fairy to come down and sprinkle dust on me. I knew it wasn't happening. I had to knock on his door, wake him up, and drag him out. And then maybe he would. But you have to make your own luck. You have to make your own life. And you have to assure yourself that you are on the right road to get to your destination. We don't all have ways. We have to depend on intuition. Oh my God, really, Danae? Danae, I want to come to Texas. I want to go see a Texas Ranger game. I don't know how far you are from there. I just think that there should be an allotted amount of time. Right. No one is coming to save us, Danae. Here's a perfect example. If no one is home and it's smoke and no one knows I'm in this room and I got to crawl out to save myself, who's saving me? Me. Ultimately, I had this shoulder surgery, right? I could do this now. I could do this. The strength will come. I can start working on strength. I can go to the greatest healer, physical therapist in the world. If I don't do what he tells me to do, it's not going to get better. It's me. I have to save myself. You have to save yourself. I'm not saying people that care about you won't help you, but there are certain things I can't do for you. I have a life student. Yes, I agree with you, Danae. Absolutely. In fact, you hit the board there, dear. You know what's funny? I'm going to out you, Danae. I was talking about politics, and Danae got a little ruffled. And then a day later, she said something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, I'm glad that someone could reel me in once in a while or something like that. And I told her, don't ever do that. You be yourself. I love Danae because Danae's Danae. Danae shouldn't have to adjust her thinking, her anything for me. We were meant to meet. I came up in her feed and I trust her. Even I've never met her. We've had a conversation on the phone, but there are people that you just know. I agree, Danae. And yeah, you am what you am. Right. My girl, Danae, Popeye, the Texas woman, that didn't come out right. But you know what I mean? You have to really make a decision that I'm sick of living like shit and I'm sick of being the victim. I have a student, a life student now. She's in a abusive relationship, not physical, thank God, but mental could be as bad. I don't feel. Look, I have a master's and undergraduate, but I have 89 in like 3/4 hours. Believe it or not, and I didn't miss the 15 minutes on purpose. That's what it came out to, of a life coach certification. I didn't feel I was qualified. I felt this girl needed psychiatry. Not that there was anything wrong with her or anything. Just I felt it was a little out of my jurisdiction, so to speak. And maybe she needed medication. I'm not equipped to handle certain things, and I have no problem telling someone, you know what, I'll talk to you. And in fact, I have spoken to a couple of people and didn't even charge them. And the Life Health I get 100 an hour, and I didn't charge them because I sent them off, and then they said, "Can I still talk to you?" Yes, if I sent you away from me, I'm not going to bang you out twice because I know that's charging you $250 an hour. I'm not going to charge you. I have like out of 17 people, like 4 of them are on the arm, which is an expression for they don't pay, because I felt I couldn't handle it, and they should go speak to someone else. I'll still talk to them about things, but I just felt it was a little out of my, I'm not licensed for that. It's like being an attorney. You could not go up in the court of law and the bar. The bar is actually, there's a bar there. That's why they call it passing the bar. You can't pass the bar to the podium. Semantics, but that's what it is. You can't defend someone if you're not a licensed attorney. You're really not supposed to give advice. You can get charged for that, If you give someone unsolicited advice, you can get charged with that. There's a charge for that on the books. It's like vagrancy. You never get charged with it, but you're really not supposed to give legal advice if you don't have a license. And I feel that I can't help you I'm not licensed. Danae, I know. Respect to you. You're a good woman. And if it's out of my purview, I have no problem. I don't have an ego, and I don't need the $100 an hour so bad. I'm not going to screw someone's life up because I want some extra money. Maybe I would have. I'm not saying I'm an angel. Maybe 15 years ago I would. At this age, no. Some other things are more important to me now. I wouldn't like if someone did it to me. But I try to help as much as I can. But if you're in an abusive situation, what I'm getting at, long-winded, 4 minutes, if you won't leave the house, there's only so much, I'm saying it metaphorically, that I can do. I can't load you with kryptonite and hope that the guy's allergic to it. You have to do something. I can tell you what the proper steps are from my experience, where you're looking at it tunnel vision. I've seen other situations that don't end up well. Perfect example: if you drive drunk every Friday night, there is a good chance eventually you're going to get caught. You may never, but the more you do it, the more chance you're going to get caught. If you keep on putting yourself in a situation that can bite you, eventually you're going to get bitten. And you can't sit and cry if you do. How many times did a poor woman, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen to a man, but most of the time you hear about a woman, a poor woman get abused and got killed by the husband. And friends say, I knew he was going to kill her one day. I knew this would happen one day. Well, didn't you tell her? I told her to leave. She wouldn't leave. Is it on her that she got killed? No, it's a terrible thing. But if she wasn't there, she still may have. The guy might have come to the new address. You don't know. But I'm saying the chances are, if you're not in front of something, you're making it harder for it to happen. And karma does sting. It does. So anyone that has issues that they feel that they can't handle, usually if you feel that way, you can't, because we all have a bit of an ego. And when we put our hands up and surrender, usually it's because we really have to. Get help. I'm not saying get help psychiatric. Go to a family member, go to the clergy, go wherever you have to go. But do something that will ensure that you're taking the right steps. Look, I could put you in a Maserati, I told you, and I could have a beaten down old clunker outside. If I put you in the Maserati and I put you in the driver's seat, start the car, you put the radio on and you never go in to drive, my clunker's gonna, and we both have to go to the same place. Oh, I'd love to, Danae. I really would love to. That would be amazing. I would love that, Danae. I will. I certainly will take you up on that. Thank you so much. Um, maybe you could sit in on one of the sessions. I'll tell the girl, of course, StreamYard, and you could sit in. Um, you give us the same destination. You don't put the car in drive, you're not getting there. And you are in $150,000 gorgeous, you're not getting there. I'm beating you at my clunker because you didn't take the move. You didn't make the move. You didn't go into drive. You have to make a move. I tell Mitch, if Mitch is bored, make a move. Call people where you're going to be. If they don't tell you, go on Facebook. They show you because they take pictures like they're the Queen of England. Show up. When you're a show up guy, eventually you become part of the crowd. Not maybe in the beginning, but you become part of the crowd when you show up. If you don't show up, I guarantee you're never going to be part of the crowd. Now, depression can be very debilitating. Very debilitating. Because you're not thinking clearly. There's something called pattern disruption where, I try to divert your pattern by doing something, saying something that will reset you a bit. And it's very rough. It's very rough. We try the best we can. We try to help people. Some of us are qualified. Danae and I have certification in it. Some people aren't. And that's not to say that some people couldn't give advice that's better than Danae and mine. Absolutely. But what I'm saying is, yeah, I just said pattern disruption, Lee. It's funny you said that. Pattern disruption is very crucial. First of all, 32% of you, if someone gives you a hard question and you sneeze, it'll divert it for at least 75 seconds where they won't remember what they were talking about. That's true. That's true, Danae. We shut up. Look, people go into catatonic states. What do you think? They're pretending? No. It happens. But pattern disruption is very, very important. Pattern disruption is very, very in dating. Pattern disruption is very important. You can reset a relationship with pattern disruption. A girl loses her interest in you. Usually, if the interest level falls under 50%, then you're not a valued individual anymore. Bottom line is, if a girl wants to see you, she can get 3 minutes sleep and have to go to work in the same clothes. If she really loves, she'll see you. If she don't want to, she won't. Usually when someone comes to me, she broke up with me Friday. No, she broke up with you 3 months ago. The words were said Friday. No, this has been happening. If you tell me verbatim what has been said and what's gone on for 3 months, I can tell you pretty much when she lost interest. So a girl wants a high valued guy. Okay. The best thing I tell people, and one of the greatest attributes, I'm not so good looking or anything. You know why I was able to date very successfully in the 80s? Because I was very capable of walking away and not looking back. That is my strongest attribute. I could say, fuck you, and walk away, never call you. And it could kill me, but I will not call you. And if a girl knows you're capable of that, you'll get respected. you'll get respected. If a girl knows that you're a groveling idiot, you're a groveling idiot. She has you, you go out with a girl on a Friday night. Okay. She has a great time. You don't call her Saturday. Wednesday, you get a text. Hi. You know what hi is? She don't give a shit how you're doing. She don't even know you. That's hi. I'm available for a date. You didn't call me yet. You want to go out this weekend. She's not going to ask you. So she's hoping you'll ask her. That's what the hi is, checking in. She don't care. You think she really cares how your day is? No. It's like, oh, I haven't heard from you. It's Wednesday. It's early enough. You probably don't have plans. You can ask me out. I just reached out to you. That's what that is. The girl doesn't want a needy guy. What does she need that for? A girl wants a guy that has other things going on. When during the pandemic, why were antibacterial $9 when there should be 99 cents? Because supply and demand. Right? Now do you go and buy it? No. You don't give a shit about your health anymore? I guess you still do, but how come you're not doing it? Still flu season, right? Because you don't care. Yeah, Tinder, yeah. Most guys are single because they don't know what they're doing. I'll give you a perfect example. A girl wants to meet a guy. She goes, if you're a good looking girl in your orbit, you have guys around, right? Usually, if you have a group of 7 friends that hang out, 4 of them are guys. 2 have asked you out and you put them in the friend zone. One's too scared to ask you, and one you might have gone out with. But you swipe as the girl. A good looking girl has probably in 6 months gone on 40 dates. How come you're the 41st? If any of those guys knew what they were doing, remember, she's swiping. She's looking at you. If they knew what they were doing, you wouldn't be with her. She'd be with him. Obviously, most guys don't know what they're doing because they don't. Girls don't like needy guys. They don't like needy guys. They want a high-valued guy. They want a guy that other people want. Why the hell should she get stuck with you if no one else wants you? Yes, Danae, that's true. That's true. That's very true, actually. That's a great statement. We are all kids inside. Why do you think adults love comic books still and baseball cards and all that stuff? Because that never leaves you. You know what leaves you? Your ability to play softball, not your love for playing softball. Your ability to play it. And how I know that is because you're still stuck at the television watching the Mets or Yankees. You still love it just as much. You just can't play it anymore. That's why people learn golf. Most of the people that were golfers at my age played in softball leagues, played baseball. I played high school baseball on my high school team. I played organized. Yeah, golf. Yeah. Or playing like children. Yeah. It's, you ever see a grandparent or, just when you're a parent playing with your kids on the floor? I guarantee you're not bored. Why not? Why aren't you bored? It brings you back to a time when all you were worried about was what you were doing then. That's why little kids, they'll play, they leave, and they go do something else. Yeah, we do, Danae. And that's why we found each other. And I will tell you this much. Being childlike. Look, you have certain pet names for you. You could be 50 years old dating. You got these certain little pet names you have for each other. You do this things like when you were 17. Why? Did you regress? No, because that was important. You want to be able to have fun on a level that is intrinsic. You have to want, right? You have to want to exist in a way. Danae's talking about Nikola Tesla, who his core philosophy was pretty much inherent and interconnected power of the universe and all that. Quantum physics, that's what it's echoed in. Energy is a universal force and all that. And it's very true. We all embrace true. Little kids don't care what people think. Why do you think little kids pick their nose? You do that when you're 18 in front of somebody? They don't have that belief system of having to impress people, or that value system of being proper. They do what they feel like doing. We lose that as we get older. We lose the ability to be ourselves. We start being who we feel you want to see and how we project, instead of really being ourselves. And that's why, think about it. Couples, opposites attract. So why is it in divorce court you have nothing in common, you're divorcing? Wait a minute, I thought opposites attract. So what put you together ultimately ends your marriage. That's what you're saying. No. Opposite core values are sexy when you're 22 and are a big problem when you're 52. Because you learn there is a lot more to just being great in bed. You got to be able to pay the rent, or you'll be great in the backseat of the car, if you are indeed paying the car payment. That's why young people will get married not worrying about the future. Like I said, the future is that snow in between, and it'll work out until it doesn't. And then what? So then your second marriage, yeah, you want him to be good looking, or her. Well, so much, let's say the guy is more of the provider. You want her to be good looking, or she wants you to be good looking, but you got to be able to pay the rent. She's not looking for diamonds for Valentine's Day. She wants a house or a roof over her head. Let your inner child out, because eventually your inner child will die with you. So your inner child will always be alive until you take your last breath. And that inner child then dies with you. But until then, that inner child is alive. You just may not think it's cool to let that inner child out. Well, can I tell you something? Unless someone's paying your bills, or unless someone is really rating you for who you have to be, fuck them. Be you. Because I guarantee, if you believe in heaven, hell, or whatever you believe in, if you believe in Vishnu or whomever, when you get up there or sideways, wherever, everyone says God's up there. Maybe he's to your side. Maybe he's all the way south, right? They're not going to ask you, did you play childish games when you were 52? No. Impress yourself. Because if you don't impress yourself, believe me, you may think you're impressing other people, but you're not. They're just not calling you out on it. It's like when people bullshit in a crowd. Oh, I did this girl, I did that girl, I did that guy. You don't think people know you're full of shit? They know you're full of shit. They're just not calling you out on it. They don't want to embarrass you. People are a lot smarter than you give them credit for. Just because they don't call you out on your bullshit doesn't mean they don't know you're bullshitting. If you're alone at 65 and don't want to be, well, you then be concerned how someone looks at you. No, I think, unfortunately, we are a society of aesthetics. I think that if a pretty woman is alone at 65, I think more people will feel that that's her choice. I think if you look at yourself as maimed on the outside, you'll feel that people think that you just can't get anybody. Let me tell you something. I know a guy and a girl. They dated a long time. I know, and I'm not saying I'm good looking at all, but I know I'm better looking than him. And I know for a fact, not for a fact, but that she would have never chose me over him. So what does that mean? There's always someone for somebody. It takes some effort, and it takes some scraped knees when you get turned down. Hold on for 1 second. What is this? My friend Joe, I met him today. Great guy. God bless you, Pauline. And Pauline, please hit me up on the email. But you're very welcome. That's what I'm here for. This channel's for as much you as me. This channel's not about making money. It's about making friends and helping. Listen, like Danae said early on, I will find it. It's funny. You see, this is how Danae and I think alike. I will find it. Paraphrasing that, kind of, it's a bit of our obligation to try to help people. It is. It is, because there's no way that none of us have had help one way or another in our lives. And I think it's good business to pay it forward, because karma is a hell of a lot more valuable than diamonds, gold, and your 401k. Yeah, Danae, this is a different world. So don't be shocked when you look back and say, why is it so different when my parents, I don't remember this, and this, because they weren't going through this, and this. Your father wouldn't remember, if you dug him up, having a cell phone because he didn't have one. Well, we didn't go through this back then as kids. We saw our parents, the thing they were worried about. Remember back in the day, someone would knock on your door. No one ever got invited. Your mother always had an Entenmann's cake in the house somewhere. People would knock on the door. Remember, your friends would call for you. They didn't call for an appointment. They'd knock on your door. Oh, you're home? Your aunt would show up at the door. Your mother always had an Entenmann's cake, right? Fruit or whatever the fuck it was. No one called for a formal appointment. They just showed up. That's the way it was. Now people are at the dinner table. All three are texting. My son is in the other room. He texts me. Yeah, we are brainwashed. Like I said, then I don't know if you were on here. If I went in front of Putin and Zelensky and I said, just be quiet, I'll show you 50 things you were alike with. Do you love your kids? Do you want healthy? Blah, 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 blah. Stop concentrating on what is different about you. And if we start concentrating on what we are alike, you're going in on a winning note. Remember, people, and I play instruments. You hit a bad note. You know when you know if that note was bad? The next note. Think about that. I'm going to leave you with that homework. I hit a bad note. The next note either magnifies that bad note 1,000 times over, or the next note, oh, I see what he's trying to do there. Think about it. Talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.